Guys, welcome back to Styrene Relics. I want to do something just a little bit different today. Uh, we've been going through a lot of pictures here at the house and looking at different stuff and reminiscing and going on. and and then I realized that this weekend or next weekend, the third Saturday in September, let's put it that way, is always the James Dean cruise down in Fairmont, Indiana, Gas City, and all that. And man, we never missed a show. For years, we went down there for that. Really good times. I started going through a bunch of the pictures I took down there, and I wanted to show them, and I'd be all day showing those pictures. So I opted not to do that. So I got a couple of pictures I do want to show you, and really all it boils down to is it's a little bit of history of myself and me growing up and goofing around. So right off the get go, though, before I get started, I had made a comment over on Model Cars with Glenn, and I said, "Man, I need to get my stupid butt off the seat and get out there and make some shop cards." So he texts me back and he says, "Hey, send me your email address and your address and I'll send you one." So my very first shop card, and I haven't got any out there yet. So Glenn, I appreciate it, man. You're the guy. I enjoy your show, your content, and everything about you. It's so much fun. So much fun. I can't add to what everybody else has been putting to it. So when you throw one out there, I'm usually one of the first guys that hit it. So appreciate it again, man. I really enjoy that. I'm glad you're still around, buddy. I really am. All right, let me get started. I got a couple of silly things I want to get started. Uh, this is, I believe I bought this thing, my very first car. This was the day one I brought it home. 68 Camaro with a 67 front clip. It had a 250 straight six in it, and I bought it for $350. And it had a little bit of rust in the quarters, but that was it. So there's the cool guy right there. 78, September of 78. Yeah, those are corduroys. Yeah, I'm pretty cool, I can tell. You guys are laughing. Pick yourself off the floor and get back in the chair. Yeah, that's that bad. So, yeah, pretty cool. And I can prove it's mine because who else would take an orbital sandblaster or orbital sander and start sanding on the hood, right? Hey, I'm a kid, sophomore in high school, so you do what you got to do, right? I had no money. I was washing dishes when I bought that car, and the front end had been wrecked, and they found a 67 front clip, put it on it. So I was cool beans, man. You guys have heard of George Ray's drag strip down in Paragould, Arkansas? Well, I've been there, and I can prove it. So I think this was 1980, I think it was, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah, he's been that drag strip's been in a couple magazines. I think Motor Trend. I want to say Hot Rod, but I don't know that for sure. But yeah, so I've been down there. My very first car. And I made mention in the past that, yeah, that's a big old CB whip on the back. You guys spotted it, I could tell. So you jack the car up as high as you can, and you paint the undercarriage white. That's what we used to do back then. And I can prove it. Here's you see that undercarriage in the front? It's all painted white. So you drove it until it got a little dirty, and then you got out there and you hit it with another spray bomb. That's what we did. That was the thing in my area. That, and we used to run static straps. Some of you guys remember what those are. So we had static straps down there. You'd hang a little light down there off the static strap, and they drag them. I went to a vocational school in high school, my junior and senior year, and I got a hold of a 350 and I rebuilt it in class. And so I did the heads on it. I milled the heads, and I think I milled that intake too. No, I didn't have to. All I did was mill the heads. I did the heads and everything on it. So I put a mild cam in it. I don't remember the duration and lift on it, but you can tell that was late 70s, early 80s because of that crazy air cleaner. Everybody had one of those things. And just for grins and giggles, yeah, that's a 71 GP396 Yamaha. That had two Makunis sticking out the back. And snowmobile suit would get sucked into those Makunis, and next thing you know, you're running out of steam. So that's a little thing I did. Here's one thing that I had a blast with. I had a 68 Chevy truck, and I did a body lift with it. And how I did it, I bought, almost embarrassed to say, I went over to the sporting goods store and I told them I needed 48 hockey pucks. And I'm just saying 48. It was up there. Probably could have been 48. And the guy had just enough. And as I'm walking out the door, he asked me, he said, "What are you going to do with all those?" And I said, "I'm going to lift my truck." Two-wheel drive with around a 3-inch body lift. And the louvers you see on the hood came off that Camaro. I miss that Camaro though. And then redid the engine on that one. Then now I'm getting a little bit older, so you can tell the engine's a little bit cleaner than it should be. And did a lot of camping and hunting, so I bought a little wooden camper to go on the back of it. Ran that around a while. That was kind of fun. I put, like I say, that hockey pucks to lift it, and then I put 1-ton springs on the front, and I had 3/4 helper springs, those half-leaf helper springs on the back because they were coils all the way around. And I had it lifted up just enough that the carrier bearing almost would hit, but if you put a heavy load on it, hypothetically, like 2 big wooden crates of pumpkins and haul them 60 miles, yeah, you're going to bust that thing out, hypothetically, of course. And then there was a show here in Flint, and that's my brother's 55. That was kind of cool. That was pretty memorable for us because it was a special occasion. This is him going down in Milan. So he ran that car down there at Milan for a little bit. Kind of cool. And then my old hot rod, I got a 60 Chevy. And this is what started this whole thing. This was down there at James Dean at the VFW Hall. Used to be hot rods everywhere, and they would let us drive up on the grass and get pictures with that F4 sitting up there. And if you don't believe me that it wasn't James Dean's, there's James Dean's gravesite. That's just about a mile from his grandparents' place, and you could actually drive by his grandparents' place and see it. I always thought that was kind of neat. I know people say, it's kind of weird taking your picture of your car with him, but everybody was doing it, and I'm glad I did, because who knows what it's going to be like down the road. And then later on in life, it was time to shoot that car back in primer again. And everybody knows you get the best primer job when you do it out in the driveway. So, or your backyard, because the second time around I did it in my backyard. So, yeah, that's me. I'm just a regular old Joe. Ain't nothing special about me. So we got that thing put back together the same weekend, and I drove it all the way down to Anderson, Indiana. There was a big car show down there. So I took it down there, and it was heavy in the primer. There wasn't any sealer on it, and I had tiger stripes on the trunk lid. But that's all right. I still had fun doing it. Still got that car. That's the one that sits out there in the driveway or out in the garage. 1999. That's us. That's my wife. But yeah, that's the old girl right there. Had a lot of fun. We've been everywhere with that thing. Been out to Davenport, Iowa, to the last Merc Deuce and Friends. Man, you guys missed out if you never got to go to any of those. That's James Dean's high school that he graduated from. They would take pictures and make these plaques for everybody. So that was it. That was in '99. Well, that's really all I've got, guys. I've not been working on any cars. I've not been watching any videos. We've, had some family issues going on here, and I think that's all about to end here pretty soon. So, anyways, giving you guys a little something. I'm still kicking. I'm still around. Heck, I'm the world's greatest papa. Says so right here. So, you guys fight over who's second place. I don't care. All right, guys. I really do appreciate you. I'm still above ground sucking air. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.